Confusion in sample size calculation. Remember, we use the calculated results, mean, standard deviation, and proportion correlation to calculate the required sample size. In most of the cases, what sample size was used by the researcher in the last study. We do not consider that sample size. More in calculation, what is the result you required in the study, the same results we required in calculating the n. People have misunderstood the disease population. They will consider we require the prevalence of the disease population. However, after the selection of the diagnosed population, what result want to see in the population, we require those results. Sample size dependency. What is the primary objective of the study? The sample size calculation should relate to the study primary outcome variable or variable of interest outcome. If the study has secondary outcome variables that are also considered important, the sample size should also be sufficient for the analysis of these variables. Desired power beta of the test 80 to 100%, desired significance level less than or equal to 5%, effect size, differences of clinical importance, how much variability in our target population, variance of outcome continuous or categorical variable respectively. What is the anticipated dropout and non-dropout response? The fundamental outcome in hypothesis test. Results of hypothesis test fall into one or four scenarios. H naught is true, H naught is false. Reject H naught and accept H naught. Reject H naught when H naught is true. This is the type 1 error. Alpha. Reject H naught when H naught is false. This is the power of the test 1 minus beta. Accept H naught. H naught is true. It is correct decision. And accept H naught when H naught is false is the type 2 error beta. Type of error and power. Type 1 error alpha. If we reject the null hypothesis but the null hypothesis is true, then we have made a type 1 error, type 2 error. If we fail to reject the null hypothesis but the null hypothesis is false, when we have made a type 2 error. Power of the test. Power refers to the probability we correctly reject the false null hypothesis. Clinical effect size. What is a meaningful difference between the groups? It is truly an estimate and often the most challenging aspect of sample size planning. Large difference, small sample size, small difference, large sample size, cost or benefits. Types of error: random error, lack of precision, systematic error, bias, poor accuracy. Please subscribe and like our channel and press bell icon for more videos.